I'm here to introduce to you a game which with the answers 3 minus 2 or 5 minus 4. But if you recall, we only have a 3 by 3 square, so only the numbers 1, 2, and 3 are allowed, which doesn't allow us to choose the second option. Another example is this cage. Here we have a 3 and a division, so the quotient of the two numbers should be 3. And that is all you need to know in order to play the Ken game. And do note that numbers are allowed to repeat in cages, but they are not allowed to repeat horizontally or vertically. Next, I'll be playing some few examples and narrate my thoughts and thought process while answering, so you should be able to fully understand how to play the game. First, we will be solving a 3 by 3 table, and with that information, we now know that we will only be using the numbers 1, 2, and 3. Next, we identify the cages, and in this case, we have the cages 2 division, 2 subtraction, 5 addition, and 6 multiplication. Now, to start things off, let's choose the 2 division table, or cage rather. Now, the only numbers that we can really put here are 2 and 1, so let's put them here. Next is the 2 subtraction cage. Now, as I have said before, numbers aren't really allowed to repeat in a horizontal and vertical line, So since we already have 2 here, we are gonna be using the numbers 3 and 1. Next is the 5 addition cage, and since we already have 1 here, we are going to be using the numbers 3 and 2. And the order doesn't really matter now, as we can change them later on if in case we need to. And finally, we have the 6 multiplication cage. With the information we have, the table is pretty much complete, and we only need to make sure that no numbers are the same in the rows and columns. For example, 3 is already in this row and also this column, so this style is the only option that we really have. And we already have 1 for this column, so we can put 1 here. And finally, we put 2 in the middle. Here we have a 5 by 5 table, which makes things a bit harder for us. Now, one thing to note is this cage right here. As you can see, there's only a single tile and number, and this cage is what we call here. And to complete the equation in this cage, we can simply put the number 1. And since this row is pretty much complete, we only need to add 4. Now, for the 9 addition cage, since we already have 3 here, that makes things easier for us as it narrows our option. If if we check this column, we can see that we can only put the numbers 3 and 2 as our answer. If we put 2 here, our equation will be 3 plus 2, which give us 5. And to complete it, we can simply put the number 4 here. And since these two columns only need one more number, we can fill it in respectively. This column only needs number 3, so we can put it here, and this column needs 5. And for the final cage, we don't really need to mind the number and operator, as the table is pretty much complete, and with the info we have, we can complete the table pretty easily. Here in this row, the only numbers missing are 1 and 5, and since 1 is already here, 5 is the correct answer. And to complete this row, 1, we can put 1 here. And since these two numbers are pretty much obvious, we can fill it in respectively. Put in 2 here, and the number 3 here. And that is how we can solve a can-can puzzle. There are many can-can puzzle out there, and the table can go as large as 9 by 9. So if you really want, you can challenge yourself. And that brings me to the end of my presentation. Until next time.